Welcome back to Real Savant, where we bring you recaps of the most awesome movies and TV shows. From action, to horror, to comedy, to something the family will enjoy. We have something for everyone. Today, we bring you Gran Turismo, the story of Jan Martinborough, the kid that went from virtual racing to actual race car driving. Just sit back, relax, and enjoy the ride. If you're new here, don't forget to subscribe and ring that notification bell so you never miss an update. So, like back in the day, Kazunori Yamauchi had this dream of making a driving simulator to bring racing to everyone. And bam, Gran Turismo was born. Fast forward to today in Cardiff, and we've got Jan Martinborough, a major Gran Turismo fan. Homeboy saved up enough to snag himself a simulator, living the gamer life with his folks, Steve and Leslie, and his bro Kobe, who's doing his thing at a clothing store, living the dream, virtual style. So, Steve, this ex-footballer dad, isn't really vibing with Jan's dream of going pro and racing, thinks it's too out there and risky. Meanwhile, in Tokyo, we've got Danny Moore, a Nissan marketing exec, rolling up to a conference. He drops this pitch to potential investors about a Gran Turismo contest where players could go from virtual racing to the real deal for Nissan. Plus, it's a sneaky way to maybe amp up car sales. Once the contest gets the green light, Danny's on the hunt for pros to coach these gamers. Hit up a bunch of folks, but it's a no-go until he hits up his last option, ex-racer Jack Salter. Danny tracks down Jack, who's grinding away as a mechanic. Danny drops the whole pitch about turning gamers into real racers, but Jack shuts it down. Thinks it's too risky, saying it could literally be life or death. Later, Jack's in a meeting with Nicky Kappa, this hot-headed up-and-comer. Jack throws some advice his way, trying to keep the vibe chill, but Nicky's all, "You're a has-been." So Jack hits up Danny, and against his initial refusal, he's like, "Let's do this instructor thing." Meanwhile, Jan's chilling at a gamer cafe, gets a message inviting him to a simulated race. Dude's Gran Turismo skills are off the charts, and the invite is basically the virtual racing big leagues. So, Danny drops a vid announcing that the top racers get an invite to the brand new GT Academy for a shot at real deal racing. Meanwhile, Kobe spills to Jan that he's hitting up this outdoor hangout with friends. Jan's like, "Nah, I'm good," until Kobe reveals that Audrey, Jan's crush, will be there. Instant game changer. Jan shows up, starts chatting with Audrey, who's all about wanting to globetrot. But plot twist, cops show up, shut the party down, and everyone's got to bounce. On the ride home in Steve's car, one of their buddies pulls a move to snag some beer from another car nearby. That leads to a little fender bender, catching the attention of the cops. Trouble alert! So when the other car gets nabbed by the cops, Jan floors it and peels out, leading the police on a chase. After a quick pursuit, he manages to lose them. But when he and Kobe roll back home, Steve's there waiting, and Jan takes the fall for the messed up mirror. Right before a simulated race is about to kick off, Jan gets dragged to work with Steve at a rail yard. In a race against time, Jan ditches work, hops on his bike, and miraculously makes it to the cafe just in time to sign in. Talk about a close call. Jan hits the virtual track, putting his gaming skills to work, and straight up leaves the other players in the dust. He snags the first place spot, locking in his spot at the academy, ready to roll out. But here comes Steve with the whole "it's too risky" talk once again. Jan hits him back, reminding Steve that he's the one who planted that love for driving in him way back. Dude's on a mission to prove everyone wrong. Jan rolls up at the GT Academy, joining 9 other hopeful racers, including the cocky Matty Davis. They get this not-so-peppy pep talk from Jack, who's still convinced this whole thing is a bad move. The crew dives into hardcore driving drills and physical training. 4 racers get the boot, and Jan's on the brink. In a driving sesh with Jack, he crashes, swearing he hit the brakes. Later, Jack discovers the brakes were actually messed up. So, he feeds Jan the info that another racer got the boot, opening up a spot for him in the final race. Jan's hype levels go through the roof, and the racers gear up for the qualifying race. As a tribute to his dad, Jan slaps a sticker of his father's football team on his helmet. He kicks off the race dead last but starts hustling his way up to the front. Closing in on Matty, who's leading the pack, Jan pulls out some gaming moves, riding side by side. It's a nail-biter right down to the finish line. Danny's all like, "Matty's got this," but Jack's not buying it. They replay the footage, and boom, it's confirmed. Jan clinches the win by a hair. Jan's on to bigger races, and his fellow racers, even Matty, are giving him props. Jan jets off with Jack and Danny to Austria for races to snag an FIA license. He goes head-to-head with Nicky and others, starting at the back of the pack. Jan's climbing up the ranks, but in one race, Nicky plays dirty, knocking Jan off course, and he doesn't even finish. Racing drama just keeps on rolling. Jan's got one last showdown in Dubai, and Jack lays down the law. He's got to snag at least 4th place to score that license. In the race, Jan pulls some moves, overtaking Nicky, but Nicky, being the jerk he is, cranks up the speed and crashes into another car. A tire from Nicky's wrecked ride heads straight for Jan's windshield, but miraculously, it doesn't mess it up too bad. Jan powers through, nails that fourth spot, and locks in his license. Stoked about the win, he hits up Audrey, inviting her to Tokyo to witness him officially signing with Nissan. Jan and Audrey have this epic day together, capping it off at a dance club where they finally lock lips. But then, Jan's off to the Nürburgring track in Germany for another race, and Steve and Leslie are back home, glued to the TV. On the 6th lap, Jan pulls off this crazy move, jumping up to second place. But things take a turn. He hits a hill too fast, flips his car, and it's a brutal crash. His parents freak out watching it on TV, and Jan ends up in the hospital, with Jack by his side. Once Jan comes to, Danny and Jack lay out the harsh truth. A spectator lost their life in the crash. They emphasize that it wasn't Jan's fault, but he's hit hard. Jan breaks down, pushing everyone away, unable to even face his parents and shouldering the blame for the tragedy. After Jan bounces back physically, Jack takes him for a drive to the crash site and spills the beans on what cut short his own racing career. A wreck at the Le Mans track where another driver lost their life. Jack opens up about quitting racing after that tragic incident, regretting not pushing himself to see how good he could have become. He doesn't want Jan to make the same mistake. Jack hands Jan the wheel to finish the lap, a symbolic passing of the torch. Later, Jan and Jack meet up with Danny, who spills that other racing teams are trying to shut down sim racers, building cases against them. Undeterred, they're still gunning for the 24-hour race in Le Mans with their own Nismo team, teaming up with Maddie and fellow GT Academy driver Antonio Cruz. The racing saga isn't over just yet. Jan's got his whole crew, family, Audrey, and other GT Academy drivers cheering him on. Steve drops by as Jan's prepping, offering an apology for not backing him up earlier. The race kicks off with Jan, Maddie, and Antonio taking turns behind the wheel. One rival driver has a fiery crash, but miraculously makes it out alive. When it's Jan's turn, though, he starts losing focus, haunted by thoughts of that crash. Jack comes to the rescue, blasting some Kenny G and Enya to help Jan refocus. In the final hour of the race, Jan's on a mission, pushing to the front and battling it out with Nicky. He taps into memories of racing the Le Mans track in video games, recalling his unique method to outpace other drivers. Using the same strategy, he catches up to Nicky, and in a nail-biting finish, they race neck and neck to the finish line. Jan clinches the victory. Talk about a comeback! The entire crew and Jan's fam hit the podium to celebrate, while Nicky and his team have to take the L. The final text drops the bomb that Jan Martinborough and Team Nissan's win at Le Mans flipped the script on motorsports. Jan's racked up over 200 races since then. And get this, he even rocked the role of his own stunt double in the film. Pics of the real Jan and his fam pop up, side by side with their on-screen counterparts. Racing history made on and off the track. If you managed to get this far, we sincerely thank you for watching the whole thing. If you have a movie or TV show that you want us to cover, just comment it down below. We might do a video of it in the future. Don't forget to like and subscribe. Check out our playlist for more recaps.